Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Train Fever, back again for another new series, and this time around we're exploring mods, primarily the Nordic DLC, which has just launched, and those are the only vehicles we're going to be using this time around, apart from the ones where they've left in the defaults in order to keep things ticking along. But fundamentally, yeah, this is going to be a Nordic game, as it were. And I've added a few other mods that I think might add a little something along the way, and I'll call out those mods as and when we use them. To start with, however, we are, as usual, in 1850, so there's not a lot to see. The other big thing about this game is we're playing on a very small map. The goal of which is to be able to revisit sections of the map from time to time in order to keep things moving at peak efficiency. Now, at the tail end of the last series, I spoke about planning in advance as being a thing that is very important. Yeah, well, how much I'm going to plan in advance, I'm not entirely sold on, but what we want to do is make sure that every town grows to its maximum possible potential. Now, I've had a quick whiz through this map already, and for those of you who want to replicate it, the seed is CNL Failure, all in lowercase, and play that on a small map, and this is the one you'll get. So yeah, if you want to play along at home, then you have the means to do so. Everything's on medium, apart from the map size, which is on small. As mentioned at the start of a previous series, I have no interest in playing on hard difficulty. I don't do this to demonstrate my prowess at the game. I do it more just to play the thing, and to have a good time in the process. Right, anyway. What are we doing? So, to start with, we're going to do the usual, get some, economy up and rolling so that we can, so that we can prosper, so that we can do something that's more exciting quite quickly. Other people have bragged previously about having, I've made $1 billion before it's reached the year 1900. Well, good for you. I think I've got the wherewithal in order to come up with something satisfactory by that time, so we're going to start right there. And we'll start, as is often the case, with passenger transportation by road, because it's easy to implement. It's fast to implement, let's put it that way, and it doesn't have huge running costs. And so by getting this up and rolling, we should be in a position whereby we can expand quite quickly. At least that's my hope. So I'm going to run two separate halves of the map to start with, and hopefully that will make sense quite quickly. So let's get straight into, look at this, no lines at all. Exciting. Right, I'll get two up, the first of which is going to be from here, in Bridport, out here to wherever that is, Kidsgrove. So we're going to stick with the same naming conventions as we did before. Kid, 3-letter town names as much as possible, and then we'll do the other side. Come on, play the game. From Bridport to wherever this is, which I think is Lostwithiel. Yes. Okay, Brid Loss. And at the same time, I know, if that wasn't enough. So that's one half of the map, right? That's half number one. From the other half, we've got Poole and Haxby and Masham and Marlow, and we're going to route all of this out of Haxby. But because I'm using some timing in the way I'm going to set these up, I want to get them all rolling at the same time. You'll see what I mean. It's going to make sense. It might not make perfect sense, but it will make some. Now these inter-town passenger routes I will replace in relatively short order with trains, because the game's not called Train Fever for nothing. But in order just to get the cash rolling, we're gonna do that as well. We're going to just get passengers running to start with. And then as a secondary kind of mini objective, I want to actually start transporting goods as much as possible by train rather than by truck. Now, historically, what I've done is raw materials have come in by train, and then the trucks have taken over the load to distribute to various places. But I think we're going to try something just a little bit more. I hesitate to use the word aggressive, but I'm going to use the word aggressive. Something a bit more aggressive in terms of actually getting... can we really use poo? Yes, I think we can use poo as a town shorthand. Right, next one. Up Haxby to... Where's that? Is that Masham? Masham. Hax to Mash. So the game's paused at the moment, obviously, because I don't want the clock to start ticking until I'm ready for, you know, excitement. Hax. I tell you what, let's actually put this route in there, shall we? To there. Right, good. Is that everything? Is that everybody? Right, so that's all 7 towns. Wow, 7 towns. That's, you know, that's a... that's fun. Yeah, all 7 towns have got passenger routes that, well, they work to some degree. The issue now is to actually let's get them rolling. So we're going to need 2 depots of the road variety, and already we can see, you know, this nice little Nordic DLC tram depot there. But we're not ready for that yet. We're not going to start running until we've finished walking. No, that's bus stop, full depot, right there. Okay, so I want to get both the windows open for these. Okay, let's split them thus, and we'll buy 2 for this one, and we'll buy 3 for this one. 3, 2, 3, 2. Right. Okay. That's all the mental note I'm going to make. Right. Let's close those so I don't baffle myself in the process. Okay. Right. Okay. So number 1, you are going on to Bridgeport, Kids Grove. I'm pretty sure that won't be the last time I say Kidderminster, and you're going to Lostwithiel. Meanwhile, down here, you are headed to Marlow, you are headed to Masham, and you're going to Poole. Okay, right, well, very straightforward stuff to start with. Let's get the game rolling. Now, I'm going to go for max speed just to start us out because, you know, as I'm sure you're aware, these plucky... horse and cart type behaviour, they're not the quickest thing on the road, so I want to get them rolling along. And obviously we don't want to be sat here watching the game at this kind of pace. We want to soak in the atmosphere as much as possible. So what I'm waiting for at the moment is I'm waiting for the coach to come past. So that one's gone past, this one's gone past. Pause, let's set up the next one. So once again, another 2, and down here, another 3. Now, one thing I am going to try and avoid, I'm desperately going to try and avoid this time around, is the inevitable period of near bankruptcy that I have gone through in every series so far. And that has come about because of my inability to foresee the point at which I need to start replacing my original suite of vehicles. I'll show you in a mo. It will make sense, I assure you. In fact, it might have made sense already. You never know. For once, I might have talked about what I'm actually up to in a fairly lucid fashion. Right, there we go. That's those lot going. Set it rolling, and we're going to wait for the same point again where we see our passenger carts go rattling past our 2 depots. Now, once I've got up to about 4, maybe 5 on each route, what I'll do is I'll evaluate the journey times on each of the routes, because obviously they're not going to be exactly the same. They will be similar, but there will be some differences. It would have been really handy if I'd said enough there to fill to the point that the carriages went past again. However, here we go. There's one. There's the other one. Pause it some more. Now, this is fairly arbitrary timing on my part. I haven't got any clever timing schemes. I haven't pre-figured. Well, I mean, I've given it a go. I've pre-played the game to an extent, just to make sure that this wasn't a complete madcap idea that was never going to work. You're going to whatever that is, low, mash, ham, and pool. Okay, that takes us to 3. Onwards. Where was I saying? I was talking about something. I don't know. I've lost my mind again. In terms of vehicle spacing, you want to leave a reasonable gap in between each set of vehicles to ensure that demand can start to build up in between vehicles arriving. And obviously once road traffic picks up, so AI road traffic, then you don't want your buses to be queuing nose to tail, because you're never going to make a profit that way. Not to mention the fact actually that these buses are going to be scrapped in fairly short order. There goes one. Where's that? There's the other one. Next, by road vehicles 1, 2, 3. By road vehicles 1, 2. So this is, it's not the most creative way to play the game, I'll tell you that much, but what it is it's an effective way to start out. And what we are trying to do is just generate enough of an income to cover us while we expand into using trains. And trains are a slightly larger investment, and one of the things I want to do with the trains pretty much from the get-go is have them running my goods services. Although I might leave that just temporarily to get some demand going before I start to switch to trains. Okay, let's go 1 times speed for the moment and have a look at our route timings. So 8, 8, 9, 11, 11. Okay, so those 8s, they're going to want another 1 or 2, I would imagine. Now, all of these are going to age out at the same time, so in 14 years, I guess, time, we're going to be in a position where we're going to be replacing all of these. And that's the bankruptcy point that usually catches me out, because I don't replace them immediately. Well, historically, I haven't replaced them immediately, and that has led to cost spiraling, profit margins becoming lower, and woe and death and destruction and the rest of it. So that's what we're hoping to avoid, and avoid it we shall with a little bit of good fortune and good planning. And there goes the first one. First one up there, and the second one should be coming up right now. There we go. Right, same again. If you weren't interested in watching me just buying horses and carts and putting them to work, you'd come to the wrong place, because that's the theme of the day. Hexbury, right? Whatever that is. Masham. See, this is also giving me the opportunity to repeat the town names often enough that I've got no excuses for forgetting what they are. At least that's my thinking. Right, where are you going? You're Bridgeport to Kids Grove. Yeah, see? And you are going to Lostwithiel, which I'm near certain I'm pronouncing wrongly. Therefore, correct away if you are taking objection to my pronunciation there. But I'm going with something vaguely phonetic until I'm told otherwise. Right, now the aim now is to keep half an eye on things to see where our services start to come back in the opposite direction. Now, obviously, we're not there yet. As you can see, here's the Marlow service, and Marlow's a fair trek from Haxby. But see, we've already got passengers waiting. There goes one, there goes two. I know, we're playing this in a fairly factory-esque fashion to get started. If I closed Haxbury's Depot... Oh no, that's Haxbury's Depot, you muppet. Right, Bridgeport, Kidsgrove. Bridgeport, Lostwithiel. So those two happy. Here, we want to go... Haxbury. Marlow, not Marsham. Oh, I'm never going to make that mistake more than 500 or 600 times. Masham and Marlow. Not Marsham, which is also a place. Don't even say that out loud, you just confuse yourself. Right, we're rocking. Let's go. Right, okay, now, if we scroll up here just ever so briefly, as you can see, we've got our first service on its way back from Lostwithiel, which is a good thing. And over here, same deal, Kidsgrove, on its way back. So, I think possibly one more service running out of Bridport will do us grand. I missed it, have I? While I was pontificating there. Nope, here we go. You're out. You're out as well. Pause the doodah. Hit the thing. Push the button. Oh, you've bought one too many there. Sell that one back. You are surplus to requirements, dear boy. You and indeed you. Okay, I think that'll probably do it for Bridgeport. I'll have to wait till I unpause in order to check for certain. 1, 2, 3. One more, I suspect, would probably even out the service perfectly. But I'm okay with letting it just have a moment or two to catch up. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Marlow. Yes, Marlow. Right. And Masham. Poo. Very easy to remember. Pool. See? You know, that's the easy one. Okay, good. And rock and roll. So if I have a quick look now at the timing. There we go. 4 minutes. Beautiful. 4 minutes for Kidsgrove and Lostwithiel. We can consider that job done. And while I think about it, let's get the vehicle replacements up. Now, we're not going to pretend that we're going to have buses anytime soon. We will stick with the horse and cart because we're definitely going to be running them long enough for that to be a thing. The only challenge is to ensure that when we hit the point of... Hang on, pause yourself there, friend. When we hit the point of electric or even steam-powered vehicles coming in, that we're in a position to respond. Right, I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to do one more on each. It's possibly overkill for pool, but I'm sure it will still be profitable overall. Okay, there we go. Right, and that should have their journey times down to something acceptable. Maybe one more each on Marlow and Masham. I think that's probably a sound piece of thinking. So we're already 2 years in. The game starts in April. We're in February, 2 years in. So we're just coming up on 2 years into the game. And that should be the point at which the money starts to flow. As you can see from this zoomed out angle, I will zoom in at some point this episode. I near guarantee it. I just think that it's better to sit here in my helicopter and watch things going effectively. Right, there we go. Last two? Yeah, last two. Pause it. And yes, it's more running cost, but hopefully it should yield more profit in the process. And all of these will be replaced with trains in due course. Right, that's 4 minutes, 5 minutes, good. That's good enough for me. Let's just get these vehicle replacements set. And it's not going to be cheap. Over the space of 2 years, we're going to replace all of those. Now, I've spent let's say, I mean, if we exclude the running costs I've incurred so far, probably about 900,000. I could work it out properly. I'm not going to. On getting these vehicles up and running. So hopefully, by the time I come around to replacing them all, there will be cash in the bank that they have earned for me. There we go. Everybody's ready to replace. I see this line here, Kids Grove, already making me money. Okay, let's rock. Let's go for a moderate speed here. Let's go into Bridport and see what we're looking at as far as demand. Hey, look at all of these happy punters. 15 and 18 to go onto the 2 routes. Well, that's plenty. That's plenty. The first one is only just turning up. He's got 5 on board, having picked up at the other end. We've got one just left with no, that's the residence. That one there, I could zoom in. That's got 5 on board. This one's making its first pickup. There are 11 waiting. This is all good. It looks like all of the services on that route, at least while demand is holding, are going to be fully stocked, and that's going to make me plenty of cash, nice and quick. Again, 7 waiting. These guys only carry 5. He's got 4 on board. Busy bunny. And then if we look over the other side, is the story the same? Haxby. Marlow not yet delivering, but we have just had a coach leave, so you know I'm satisfied with that. Excellent. Now, secret to success in this game, or secret to quick success, is going to be getting my stations built fairly quickly. And I don't want to build Station 1 and then later have to replace it with Station 2. Or do I? I might. I don't know. What I do need to do is plan out my routes, and that's really going to be the tricky bit. For, you know, the aspiration I have, as ever, is to have a heck of a lot of trains running. And as a result, why is there no one waiting there? Look, you're going to the be-all and end-all of civilization in Hexham. Anybody? Look, I've got you a little wagon coming and everything. You, sir. You, madam, sir. No, madam. No, stuff you, madam. Dungarees man. No? Anybody? Well, I don't know what to say about that. I'm not overjoyed. It'll grow. Things will happen. What was I talking about? Yes. Okay. So look, if we were to do every town going to every other town on a single route, then you've got what, 49 routes, I guess. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. You only need 7 routes. No, there is a multiplier in there. It's possibly 7 by 7 or 7 by 6. Who knows? Anyway, you've got a good chunk of routes going on in there, but that's woefully inefficient. Not to mention the fact that the amount of traffic involved is going to be hellish. And as much as I quite like hellish traffic, that is not the objective. The objective is to build something that works, with at least one good train spotter station built in there for good measure. And I'm looking at you, Haxby. You look like train spotter central to me. We've got this nice kind of tall hill, or short mountain, depending on the way you want to look at it, and that's going to lead to quite a scenic route. So yeah, I think I'll do an episode on route planning a little later on. I'll draw a diagram and everything, and we'll chew the fat with regard to how that might pay off. Anyway, to round off this time around, let's have a look at the towns. Top population of 246 in Haxby. I should expect nothing less. Meanwhile, the money is rolling, and in this year, and here we are, 1852, we have made 500,000 in revenue, give or take, this year, and that's made me a profit of, can we get to the 100,000 mark, do we think? Let's just fast forward to end of year. Maybe not. Just short of the 100,000. So 457,000 in, 100,000 give or take call it what it is. It's 88,000. 88,000 profit. This year will be better because I'm not going to spend 100 grand on new vehicles. I have sufficient already. So I'm going to leave this rolling for a year. I'm going to join you in 1854, where you and I will be talking goods and the things that can happen with them. So why not tune in then? Thanks very much for watching today. I have been Colonel Failure. You have been lovely. And this is the Nordic DLC. So far, so good. The only thing that's particularly Nordic about it are the trees, which is why they look a little fuzzy, because they're all conifers. It's a conifer fest down here, and it's even rendering them at full zoom out. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and by all means, throw some ideas this direction about what you'd like to see in this series. Will I do all trains? No. Will I do all trucks? No. Let's not get carried away. I will do all excitement all the time, and you are welcome to be a part of it. So tune in next time and catch up on more. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.
Listen.